Hello YouTube, this is Breaking the Third Wall. I'm still getting this hair underway. Okay, today I want to talk about the like relationships. Okay, you need to be very, very aware of what is going on. Um Now, before I get started on this relationship topic, I want to remember what the Bible said. I believe the Bible is a tool. All religious scriptures are tools. The Bible said if God didn't intervene, no flesh would be saved. Okay? Take that how you want it. So I'm talking about relationships. You have to be very wary who you're around. Like some people can have false memories of your your purpose or stance or your relationship in their life. Now, why be wary about who you're around? Simulated reality or simulated consciousness, okay? Now, I've witnessed this firsthand. I'm going to say there was a person that back when I was a little bit younger, I used to smoke weed heavy every day. And you know the effects of smoking weed. You will smoke weed, your eyes get red and they get lower, and your voice kind of mellows out and you high. One day, and this person will smoke heavy weed. I'm talking about really heavily. One day, this person came over and smoked weed with me. Smoked two blunts, two joints, two bowls, whatever he smoked some weed, and his eyes didn't get red and they didn't get low, and he stayed completely normal. And I thought that was kind of weird. So then he came back the next day and I was like, maybe it was just the weed we smoked. I was like, let me go get some weed. So I got some sativa. We smoked and the same thing happened. Now I noticed that my eyes was red and my eyes got lower, and I noticed this person's eyes did not get red and his eyes did not get lower. So what happened? So I'm thinking consciously or unconsciously you can slip into being a simulated consciousness. So I always thought that was weird until today, Friday the 13th. I kind of just put it together. I'm like, a simulated consciousness. That's why I say be careful who you're around, because, like I said, people can have false memories of who you are and what purpose you play in their life. Like you could be friends with someone, or even your brother or your sister. You hang out with them, you grew up with them every single day, you hang out with them all the time, you guys do everything together, you go to the mall, you eat together, you shop together, everything together. Then one day it just stops and you like, well, what the hell is going on? That person has a false memory of you in their brain, and they feel like that you like messed them over, you screwed them over somewhere somehow, and they don't want nothing to do with you anymore. So that is a false memory. You have to be very, very wary of who you are around, because some people can just slip into, I don't know if it's consciously or subconsciously, some people can slip into a simulated reality and have a false perception of reality and have a false perception of who you are, what your stance of their life is, and what your relationship is. I say that because this relationships, if you hang out, if you're just, you could be a LGBT, you could be straight, anything. You could be hanging out with a girl, and like every single day. I had this one friend. We would hang out at the mall every day and stuff like that. Um, you can hang out at the mall every single day, go out to eat. You could be there for their baby showers and everything. And one day, it like changes. Like literally, they'll think in their mind you could show no sexual attraction to the person at all. They will think that you like them. They will think that you're in a relationship. They would think that now they need to get even with you and they want to break up with you, even though you never been in a relationship with this person. You never had sex with this person. You never sexually touched this person. You never kissed this person. Is that they have a false memory implanted into their simulated consciousness that makes them believe that they need to get even with you or they need to get revenge on you because you're in a relationship and they feel like they're breaking up with you. So this is detrimental. This can be very, very dangerous. And I'm like, on what level will this like end? That's like, um, I had seen this one video. This girl, her boyfriend was They were arguing. The girl got a knife and was really stabbing herself in the arm and slit her wrist and cut her hand. And she sat there and paused and watched the blood trickle. And she said, "You did this to me. Why did you do this to me? Why did you stab me?" And then she started screaming and yelling, like, "Why did you stab me? Why did you do this to me? Why did you do this to me?" He was like, "You never acted like this before. You acting crazy. I'm scared." And he's like, "You know what? I'm leaving." And luckily I recorded it and blah, 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 blah. Her, I'm pretty sure up until that day, she was just a normal girlfriend. She was cooking, cleaning, doing whatever it was, making him happy. And then one day, she just, consciously or subconsciously, she got a false memory in her mind. She went from a conscious being to a simulated consciousness. And this is the times that we live in now, where people can have a false perception of reality. People can have a false memory of things happening that, sometimes never really happened. So you have to be careful who you are around with these relationships. Even if you're not in a sexual or monogamous relationship at all, you can just simply be friends. And then somewhere down the line, something can happen. Like they believe that you're in a relationship together. They believe that they need to get revenge. They believe that they trying to break up with you or whatever. And you were simply just friends. You could be a gay man hanging out with a straight woman, and one day you could be hanging out for years. One day things could just slip and change. She can go from a conscious person to a simulated consciousness, and she thinks that you like her, you want to get with her. She needs to get revenge. She needs to break up with you, and she needs to do whatever it is to break up with you, so that way you know that you guys are no longer in a relationship, instead of just talking about it. So be careful with these relationships. Um, if you haven't noticed, they say the country is bitterly divided. I honestly truly see that, and I can perceive that these simulated consciousness and these organic consciousness really can't coexist. For one, the simulated consciousness only use you to get information so they can know who they are and a better understanding of where they going and where they come from. You and your DNA and in your consciousness and your soul and spirit, you know who you are. It's just a point of time of you waking up and you realizing and coming into realizations, into certain realizations, whether it be physical and spiritual or mental or emotional. So you need to be careful about these relationships of who you're around. This can go for friends, this can go for families, brothers, sisters, mothers, cousins, aunties, uncles, and everyone else. This can even go for your children. Your child could be at home peacefully chilling and hanging out and playing video games and being, little Dexter and hanging out, building sandcastles, playing with his army toys. And one day he just decides to go to school and do destructive things